The night of the company party was supposed to be simple: drinks, laughter, networking, the usual shallow chatter of corporate gatherings. I had gone because my wife, Claire, insisted. She loved those events more than I did, loved the attention, the flashing smiles, the way people fawned over her charisma. I usually stood by her side, quietly supportive, but that night I decided to let her enjoy herself while I mingled with a few colleagues. I never imagined that giving her space would lead to the kind of betrayal that would shatter me. The first hour was harmless enough. We shared a glass of wine, posed for pictures, and greeted her coworkers. She was radiant, laughing easily, her hand brushing my arm every so often to remind me I was still her husband. But as the night wore on, I noticed she drifted away more often, her circle of conversation shrinking from groups to two particular men, guys she had mentioned before in passing. "Just work friends," she once said with a shrug. Around 10 o'clock, I couldn't find her. I asked a few colleagues if they'd seen her, and someone offhandedly remarked, "She went upstairs with a couple of the guys. Probably checking out the balcony view." Something about the tone, half amusement, half knowing, twisted my gut. I excused myself and followed. The upstairs lounge was dimly lit, quieter than the chaos downstairs. And that's when I saw it, Claire, my wife, in a shadowed corner, pressed between those two men. Their hands roamed over her dress, her lips were locked on one while the other whispered something in her ear that made her giggle like she was 16. My entire body went cold. It wasn't just cheating. It was reckless, humiliating betrayal, at a work party, under the same roof where her husband stood. I wanted to storm in, to rip her away and make a scene. But I didn't. Rage burned hotter than humiliation, but beneath it was something sharper: clarity. If I exploded now, she'd cry drunken mistake or turn it on me somehow. No. I needed precision. Quiet destruction. Revenge measured in silence. I left without a word. She stumbled home later that night, perfume mixed with liquor, pretending everything was normal. I played along, waiting. Over the next few weeks, I gathered everything: photos from discreet sources, texts I'd quietly pulled from her synced laptop, even testimony from two coworkers who were sick of her games. I built a file so complete it could crush her world in a single blow. And then, I unleashed it. First, HR anonymous submission with timestamps, screenshots, and descriptions of her and the two men vanishing into side rooms at the party. Within days, an investigation began. Whispered rumors turned into hard questions. Both men were married, both in managerial tracks, and both terrified their careers would implode. They did. One was fired outright, the other demoted and transferred. Claire thought she could survive it, play the victim, call it workplace politics. She had no idea what was coming next. Because the file didn't just go to HR. It went to their wives. I met with one of them personally, showed her the truth, watched her face crumble, and handed her the evidence she needed for divorce proceedings. When the other received her anonymous envelope, her rage made sure the story spread beyond hushed circles. Claire wasn't just unfaithful. She was the woman who blew up two families and tanked careers. She came home one night after another brutal HR meeting, her face pale, eyes red from crying. "I think someone is targeting me," she whispered. I looked at her, calm as ever, and said, "Maybe actions have consequences." She froze, realization dawning. For the first time, she saw that I knew. The final strike was personal. I filed for divorce, slid the papers across the table without anger or raised voice. Just silence. She begged, cried, swore it meant nothing, that she was drunk, that she didn't think I'd ever find out. Her words bounced off me like rain on stone. I was done. By the time the dust settled, she had lost her job, her friends, her reputation, and me. Even her parents, proud and proper, distanced themselves in shame. She tried reaching out months later, asking if there was any way back, if I could forgive her, if we could rebuild. I never responded. Because betrayal at that level doesn't just end love. It ends everything. She thought a fling at a party would stay a secret indulgence. Instead, it cost her her marriage, her career, her dignity. That was the ultimate price. And the most satisfying part? I never raised my voice, never fought, never begged. I just watched her burn her own life down and made sure the flames spread.